All right, well, there are two cases, but the one that we're going to be dealing with primarily 25 CR 711, the state of Texas versus Wesley Davis. This is the offense, third degree felony, deadly conduct. And Mr. Dusler is your attorney earlier, and you are Wesley Davis, right? Earlier, you pleaded guilty to this deadly conduct, discharge of a firearm. The agreement is whatever sentence shall not exceed a cap of 7 years imprisonment. So what we have here is really two options, no less than 2 nor more than 7 years confinement in prison, or it looks like deferred or unadjudicated probation could be a an option. Is regular probation an option? It says deadly conduct, discharge of a firearm. So a firearm was used in the commission of this offense. I guess regular probation is
No,
not,
sir, I think it's deferred.
just deferred and flat time.
He and I have discussed this and,
How'd that go?
well, it went pretty well. He recognizes that, this was just something that was really foolish. You just don't go around firing guns, indiscriminately, whether it's at people or houses or just up in the air. You just don't do that kind of thing. He tells me that he realizes that this was a terrible, stupid, foolish mistake on his part. What's going for him is he's 21 years of age and he has no criminal history. To my knowledge, a felony or misdemeanor. And basically it's just, this offense, which we feel like that if he's given the chance on deferred adjudication, he can successfully complete that and hopefully, importantly, keep him from ever having a criminal conviction. And I've talked to him about that. He feels like that he could successfully complete it. Am I correct? Yes, sir.
Okay, hold on. I'm a little fuzzy about this. What was the building that was shot at on the drive-by here? Did it have anything to do with Lamar University?
No, sir. I think
Well,
it's
because
I believe it was a private residence, Your Honor.
in the vicinity.
look at okay. 1, 2, 3, the third paragraph, last sentence. Lamar University Police Department cameras observed the vehicle to drop off an individual to the dormitory and exit the property. Okay, that must be located close by.
I think that's
But
correct.
it was a residence that was shot at, correct?
Yes.
Everybody, and then does everybody agree 19.223 caliber shell casings were recovered on the roadway? Is everybody saying that, is this what everybody believes, that 19 assault weapon bullets were fired at somebody's home in a drive-by shooting? Is that about
That's
the substance of this? At 3:38 in the morning? Nice. All right, the agreement here is whatever sentence shall not exceed a cap of 7 years in prison. So no less than 2 nor more than 7 years confinement in prison or deferred or unadjudicated probation. Go ahead, Mr. Dusler, on behalf of the defendant.
Well, I think I've already spoken to it. He's asking for deferred. He has no criminal history. He at the time was also recovering from a gunshot wound that he had received a few months earlier. And he said that was weighing heavily on his mind at the time as well. But he has no prior criminal history.
I don't understand what that means, though, weighing heavily on his mind. He was shot, so quite naturally, he fires 20 bullets into somebody's home.
I didn't say quite naturally.
Well, I don't understand. I don't understand what happened.
I don't understand either. I've never been shot.
Oh, okay.
But
Well, you
I'm
just
sure there's a lot of trauma.
randomly fired somebody's home, huh? With an assault weapon. I mean, 223. I mean, that's M16. AR-15, I mean, isn't it? It's what we use in Vietnam. U-23. All right. Go ahead, Dave.
Your Honor, while it is correct, he doesn't have any convictions. There are several cases pending, including this one.
Yeah,
The other case,
assumed innocent unless he's found guilty. If he's not found guilty, I'm not going to consider it. Unless y'all want to prove it beyond a reasonable doubt.
not at this time.
Okay.
We also want to just point to the dangerous nature of shooting that many rounds into someone's home in the middle of the night when presumably people are there asleep. And
Were people there?
I don't believe that contact was made with anyone at the scene.
Well, that begs the question, why not? But anyway,
Judge, I believe I've got related cases on this one. In my memory is that there were 2 people that ended up at separate hospitals from these shootings.
I'm gonna object to that.
I don't see it in the 4 corners
there's
of this
nothing-
pre-sentence report.
Yeah, I don't believe it.
But it was a residence that was shot at and
Let me check.
bullet holes. Let's see.
That's this one.
Um,
I may have misspoken, Judge. I apologize.
there were rounds found, AR. Okay, blood in multiple rooms. Although that didn't seem fresh.
Your Honor, I don't
Bullet
believe,
hole was in the headboard, came through the window along with a bullet hole in the northwest corner of the room. Lamar University PD cameras observed the vehicle to drop off an individual to the dormitory and exit the property. Okay, as the vehicle was seen exiting the property and traveling west on East Virginia Street, a passenger in the vehicle appeared from the sunroof and began shooting toward the residence at 520 East Virginia Street. This residence has been targeted several times within the last week, where 2 victims were struck by gunfire.
I believe the victims were from a separate incident at the same
Investigators
residence.
were able to positively identify the occupants as driver Jordan Washington and the passenger Wesley Davis. Davis was found to be a victim of an aggravated assault that occurred May 5th of 2025. And the alleged actress lived at this address that was being shot at. Investigators believe that Washington and Davis acted in a conspiracy to retaliate against those at 520 East Virginia Street. And the defendant says, I was going through a lot. I did it because I was suffering from a wound. I was going through depression. So this was 2 days after you were shot.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. What are you asking for?
State's asking for 2 years, Judge.
How much?
2 years. And the alternative, should the court grant probation, we ask that you follow all of the recommendations set by this PSI.
Anything you want to add?
No, sir, other than, he doesn't have a felony conviction on him. I would recommend, let's give him a shot at deferring, see if he can successfully complete.
Look, I understand the defense on, he doesn't have, felony, conviction. And looks like he's got this case and then a pending case on,
And I think we're probably going to,
but
run that
let's-
current with whatever we do here.
Beaumont, Texas, United States of America. You don't do a drive-by and shoot 20 rounds from an assault weapon into somebody's homes. It's at 3:30 in the morning. My God, I know it happens. Is that what we've come to? Not on my watch. You do that, you're going to pay. You go to prison. You just don't shoot into somebody's home 20 times with an assault weapon. This isn't like what we see on television that we get that sickens our stomach. This is supposed to be
Yes.
humane existence, peace, not in the early in the morning hours, just firing assault weapons into people's homes in this town. That's not on my watch. Isn't gonna walk out. You're just not gonna walk out. State's asking for 2 years.
Yes, Your Honor.
It appears as though something had caused you to be upset, which isn't good. But you had been shot. That's not good. That shouldn't have happened. You turn around when you fire 20 rounds of assault weapon into somebody's home. I don't know, were there kids in this home too, children? I don't know. But people did live in there. And there could have been, if it was packed with people, you could have killed 20 people or 19 people. That's dangerous inherently. It's just not sophisticated thinking, and it's no way to handle the problem. You don't outdo what had been done to you by, if they're going to shoot me, I'll shoot them 20 times. It's terrible. That's no way to handle it. There's a better way to handle your problems. And this, when something like this happens, people pay a serious price, and they ought to be. We could have had 19 deaths here in this one. I now find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of this third-degree felony. I'm following the recommendation of the state on this one. You were hereby sentenced to confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice to serve a term of 2 years. A deadly weapon, namely a firearm, was used in the commission of this offense, and that would be affirmatively shown on the judgment of the case.